Old model steamboats in poor condition, part 6. A week after the cleaning and sinking, the hull is now dry. In this episode I am using glass cloth and polyester resin inside the hull to repair it and make it watertight. I also repair some external damage that looks like the boat probably hit an iceberg at some time in the past. At the moment the hull is on its side in the workshop and I'm using a vacuum cleaner just to remove all the particles of paint left in the hull. In the previous episode I used a pressure washer to blast off all the loose paint, which will also help with the much needed ballast in the boat because it's going to need a lot to float it at the right level. And now it's out onto the picnic table in the middle of the lawn to mix some polyester resin with the correct amount of hardener to bond the glass fibre tape to the side of the hull. I decided to use tape like this because it's easy to apply. A big sheet would have been almost impossible to cut accurately, so all I need to do is just overlap this tape and eventually the hull will become very strong. I'm using a small paintbrush to apply the resin and I'm stippling it in order to work the resin into the glass cloth. Picking up resin on a brush and stippling it into the glass cloth is a very slow process, and the main problem is I keep spilling the resin onto the boat. I don't often work with glass fibre, I just do my best and figure it out as I go along. I really do find the best way to learn is to do it, and you may make a mess of it, but after a while you stop making quite as big a mess. Although fiberglassing, as far as I can see, is a very messy process. The resin gets everywhere. At the moment quite a bit of it's on my hand, and I'm fairly confident that very shortly there will be pieces of glass cloth also stuck to my fingers. That's why, being smart, I have a pot of cellulose thinners. So periodically I dip a piece of cloth in the cellulose thinners and wipe my fingers with it. A quick note for those of you who like making boats, don't use this stuff if you're bonding parts to small model boats because the glass fibre of the hull is quite thin and the heat generated by this stuff curing may distort the glass fibre hull of your model boat. For bonding components inside model boats that are made from glass fibre, I would normally use epoxy products, either epoxy resin and hardener, or I would use a 2-pack putty such as Milliput or the excellent JB-Weld. That is really strong stuff, especially if you use the 24-hour version. I will be using some JB-Weld to repair part of it, but I don't think the heat generated by this polyester resin curing is going to affect the hull of this boat because it's made of metal plates that are soft soldered together. Here's a top tip. On a very hot day like today, don't mix too much of this resin because it will soon go off before you can get a chance to use it. I'll mix a bit less next time. Now the polyester resin that is inside the boat is no longer runny and it's getting quite firm. I can turn the hull upside down, or in this case on its side, and scrape out whatever this filler was that was put in many years ago. To remove this old filler that someone had put in at some stage, I'm using a scalpel. This is a scalpel that was sent to me by a very kind viewer and it's extremely sharp with a long pointy blade. What I intend to do is fill this gap with some JB-Weld and then fill around the depression that caused this problem in the first place. It looks a little bit like impact damage, as though part of the hull got dinted and that separated some of the plates. I'm trying to tap them back with a hammer, very gently of course. And the hammer's not really doing much, it's closed the gap very slightly. But once I fill this gap with JB-Weld and then fill over the top with car body filler, rub it down, etc., and paint it, it will be fine. I've mixed another quantity of polyester resin, and this time I haven't mixed quite as much, so hopefully the amount that I have should match the speed at which I can apply the resin to the glass fibre in the boat. As before, rather than just using the brush, I do find it better to tip the resin into the boat and spread it out with the brush. And as you can see, I'm working much faster this time. It's the wonder of modern technology. I just speed the video up and I can get all the glass fibre in position far quicker than I did previously. And this time, before the resin went into that sort of jelly state just before it's about to set, I poured some of it into the bottom of the boat and held the boat in an upright position so that I got a nice even coating of resin in the bottom of the hull. Although it's not really good enough just to glass fibre the inside of the hull, I'm going to make sure that the outside of the hull is watertight as well. Within a couple of hours I'd coated every part of the inside of the hull. So the next time I float the boat in the bath, this shouldn't happen. It should stay on the surface of the water, which is the general idea. The bow of this boat is quite badly damaged, as you can see. It's come loose and sprung apart. Originally this part of the bow was soldered together, but it's just given way over the years, and this is a bit of a problem because I can't resolder it for a couple of reasons. The main one being, of course, that the paint will be removed by the heating process, and the other reason is it's not a good idea to put any heat into a thing like this because the heat will make the plates move about, and that could cause many more problems. There has been an attempt to repair this in the past using some filler, which wasn't very well done and it wasn't successful. I've dug out all of the filler, every trace of it, so now at least I have some clean metal surfaces that I can stick back together. A shape like this is quite difficult to clamp, and besides it wouldn't be permanent. The combing around the top edge of the hull, the part that's painted brown, is made from brass, and the main support for the bow is also made of brass. So using my Minicraft drill, I'm attempting to drill a hole through the side of the combing. But it's not working. It's really difficult to drill through it. That's because the Minicraft drill goes too fast. So I use my Makita drill, which is a standard battery operated drill, which goes a bit slower and it's more powerful anyway, so then I had no problems. I'm drilling a hole through the side of the combing, which is going to be clearance size for 8BA. I've now changed the drill bit for a smaller drill bit, which is tapping size for 8BA, and I'm drilling through into the round brass bar that forms the front of the bow. And once I'd done this, I then threaded the round brass bar using an 8BA tap, being very careful not to break it off. You will notice at this stage of the operation that I'm tightly holding the bow in position. That way the 8BA tap enters the hole at the correct angle. All I have to do now is just screw in an 8BA bolt. This is a stainless steel 8BA countersunk bolt. Why countersunk? Well, no reason, I've just got plenty of these and they're quite strong. I use this stuff a lot. It's really good stuff to use, despite what anyone may think. It's a very good epoxy resin. Here I'm mixing the two parts together thoroughly until I get a grey mixture, which when it sets after 24 hours will really bond the front part of this hull together. At this stage, obviously, I haven't fitted the bolt. What I'm going to do is fill the gap with JB-Weld and then tighten the bolt whilst holding the front of the bow together, and this in turn will squeeze out some of the JB-Weld. The plan is that the JB-Weld in the damaged part of this bow will hold it together forever. I'm giving this bow area quite a good coating of JB-Weld, but what you have to watch with epoxy resin products is that as they cure, they tend to go a bit runny and will start to run out or run unevenly all over where you don't want it. One of the benefits of using the 24-hour version of this epoxy resin, there's just no rush to apply it. You can take your time and make sure it gets into every nook and cranny of the damaged part. In this clip, I'm screwing in the 8BA bolt, and it has to be quite tight to hold this part together. And because this small steel bolt is made of stainless steel, it's never going to rust, and it's much stronger than a brass bolt, so I can really tighten it up to nip these parts together. And once that's done, I can spend some time tidying up the amount of JB-Weld on the repair. Obviously, some JB-Weld squeezed out on the inside and squeezed out on the outside, so I'm removing the excess JB-Weld, but I'm not wasting it. I'm using it on the top of the combing to hide the bolt. And when this is all ground to shape and painted, only you and I will know that it's been repaired. If you'd like to see a lot more information about how to do this job, please watch the full series. It's called A Model Steamboat Named Edith. That's it for this one. Stay safe, stay healthy. Thanks for watching, and I hope you found it useful. Please take the time to visit my Mainsteam Models website and click on the section of the website that says Video Playlists. And by doing that, you can find other videos that you may like to watch. And by using the playlists, you can actually watch the videos back to back.